you could treat me like a losing scratch-off ticket, the kind you shove in a junk drawer. I know they tell you that you gotta be in it to win it, but baby, I can't do this anymore. You made me feel like my sails were almost catching on a wind headed out to sea. Then up and left me in the hands of a drunken captain, telling me tales I could barely believe. And now my heart is wreckage from the storm. In the ocean in a million pieces, and nobody's coming for 'em. Well, you got me good. Seems like I missed the mark and misunderstood. Oh, my heart is wreckage.
Yes. Pero ahorita, mire, dijo, bueno.
Yes. Uh-huh.
All right, good morning, everyone, and happy Friday. I will call this meeting to order at 9 o'clock. We'll proceed to roll call with our secretary, Marisa.
Good morning, everyone. I will now begin roll call. Staff senators, if you would please indicate your attendance by stating aye in the Zoom chat. We'll go ahead and get started. Alicia Puentes. Ashley Mercado. Claudia Dole.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, we've got people coming in now. Cordelia Raza. Cristina De Leon. David Guerra. Irene Cárdenas. Javier Salinas. Jasmine Zuniga. Juan Santos Flores. Karen Dorado. Karina Herrera. Kelly Quinn. Maribel Mata. Melanie Garza. Melba Cantu. Mónica Granado. Nicole English. Orlando Castañeda. Ricardo López. Rolando Segovia. Tammy Muñoz. Verónica Villar. And Yadira Mejia. Madam President, quorum has been established.
All right, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to our staff's general meeting for July 2023, our last meeting for the academic year. It is wonderful to have you here with us. So we hope that you have a wonderful time. And so we hope that you are also having a wonderful summer, especially with this heat. So make sure that you stay hydrated. We will begin our meeting with moving on to our next item on the agenda, which is new business.
Sure.
Is there a motion on the floor for the approval of meeting minutes for February 2023?
I move to table the meeting minutes for February 2023.
Is there a second?
I second.
All those in favor, please state aye in the Zoom chat. Staff senators? All opposed? Any abstentions? Meeting minutes for February 2023 has been tabled. All right, so in the next part of our agenda, we do have a very special guest who is dear to us. And so she has been an instrumental in hiring in university leadership, a team also playing a key role in our helping UTRGV obtain the accreditation for Southern Association of Colleges and School Commission on Colleges. That was a long name. As provost, what can I say? Her contributions are too numerous, right? And so she was able to tackle a lot of pressing institutional priorities, which again, there's a lot to mention, but some of those is creating that culture of collaboration, that cross-divisional in support of students, establishing that centralized approach to budgeting for our academic and health colleges and schools, streamlining obviously in policies and procedures, and obviously much more in regards to that. But let us welcome Executive Vice President, Dr. Jana Arney.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me. I really appreciate it. One of my great privileges has been since 2014 being liaison to Staff Senate. And so being able to work together through all of our evolutionary changes has been a privilege. And so thank you very much for that warm welcome. And so I prepared some ideas to think about as we conclude a year, and I guess we never conclude a year, right? Because we're about ready to start a new year. And so it's always this fast track for all of us. And so I wanted just to share some great work. And I want to point out that nothing I've ever accomplished or any of us ever accomplished at UTRGV has ever done alone. It always takes a village, and it takes a team, and it takes all of us working together. And so I'm really grateful for that. And I hope that as we talk through some of the great work that's happened at UTRGV most recently, that you think about the contributions from your areas, because there's really not anybody on this call that hasn't contributed to these accomplishments and to these areas, because as a university, it takes all of us to be here to provide a product for our students, to provide an education for our students. That's what attracts them to come to us. But what keeps them here is all of you. So it's really a joint effort. So I hope that you'll reflect on how your individual units are really contributing to each of these accomplishments. So should I share?
Yes, Dr. Arnie.
Is that okay? So
You'll know your flow for sure. So I don't
Yeah. And I promise I won't. I try to keep it as short as possible, but sometimes that's really hard. So I'll try to go really fast. But if anybody has any questions or wants to talk about something different, then that's great too. So hold on. Okay.
Yes.
Let me check my calendar. Okay.
September 11th.
Are y'all, somebody's not on mute, I think. So I'm not sure. Yeah.
Well, it's a good month for me.
Okay. I don't know who that is. It's not me, I promise. Okay. So I think we know. So I wanted to talk a little bit. I wanted to start with the future of Texas, because I think we throw this around, and when we came up with this, and it was actually Dr. Bailey.
You did yourself, Dr. Arnie.
I'm sorry. I don't know why I muted. So anyway, just really quickly, the future of Texas is something that we coined several years ago. Really, Dr. Bailey deserves credit for that. But it really makes so much sense when you look at the state, and when you look at all of our demographic changes, you look at our educational changes, you look at our health changes, you look at everything that we were charged to do in our region, and we really are setting an example for the state. So it's not just a tagline, it really is a rallying cry for what we said we were going to do, and what we are trying each and every day to do. Okay, so why can I not? Okay. We came out of the pandemic, and, some of us don't ever want to hear that again and don't want to talk about it or think about it, but it did make us stronger, right? Every event in your life, prepares you for the next events that are to come. And that's kind of what the pandemic did. But I think what is so amazing about our staff, our faculty, our entire community is that when many universities kind of hunkered down and decided that they were just going to survive, we said, gosh, people need this more than ever. How do we make sure that we're thriving? How do we make sure that we're there for one another? But then how do we make sure we're there for our students so that everybody could continue to thrive? And we were very fortunate because some of our early decisions helped us stay in a thrive mode versus a survive mode. And I want to talk a little bit about those, because when you talk about the future of Texas and you talk about UTRGV, we would all be really remiss to not really think about some of the structures we've built to make sure that we are sustainable, that we are going to be this strong for many, 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 many years to come. And part of that is making sure that we don't pass on debt to our students, that we discourage debt financing. We're very proud, and we'll talk a little bit at the end about some of the recognitions we've gotten. And it's nice to be recognized for things that you set out to do. And we set out to make sure that we maintained affordability, that we kept our tuition and mandatory fees keyed to Pell Grants and Texas Grants, and that students could come in and be guaranteed for 4 years that things aren't going to change for them, particularly at the undergraduate. And then something that's really unique for us is also, and those of you who are in academic advising, those of you who are in finance, those of you who are in student success, the list goes on and on, who work with students to help them understand how important it is just invest in going full time, because that last class is not only free, but it allows you to graduate sooner, which allows you to get into the workplace sooner, which surely should increase your income for you and your family. We've developed the Tuition Advantage program. It's the only one of its kind in Texas. Again, the future of Texas. Other schools have programs like this, but nowhere near where we have put our mark, which is the $125,000. There are other restrictions, of course. You have to be a good student, you have to be qualified, and all of those sorts of things, but it is a program unlike any other. And then we also have added scholarships for graduate programs. Those of you who work with graduate students know that is really rare. But we know that you may not have Pell as a graduate student, but you still want to be able to continue, and you still need financial assistance. So put our heads together and try to figure out a plan for that. And then the only one of its kind ever is our Luminary Scholars Program, which is incredible. And we're so excited to welcome yet another class. Very competitive, getting a lot of attention locally, but also outside the area, because it truly is a one-of-a-kind scholarship program. But all of this is tied to how do we make sure that we stay relevant, that we stay sustainable, and that we make sure that we're doing for our students what they need. But also it's new programs. People choose universities because they have a program that they're interested in and they want to go. And so when we became UTRGV, both legacies had, a wide array of programs, but our charge was to expand that dramatically, particularly at the graduate level. And so look at those numbers. I mean, that's extraordinary. And there is nobody on this Zoom or in this meeting that has not contributed in one way or another to make each of these programs possible to bring on, but possible to offer and to sustain. During the pandemic, talk about thriving instead of surviving, we just kept on plugging away and just kept on bringing on new programs. And it goes to show that, we're stronger when we pull together, and you may have to change your format, but we sure did it and we made it happen. And then we welcomed new students into all of these programs. And you may have seen yesterday that we're still pending SAC-COC approval, but we received the coordinating board's approval. The announcement went out late yesterday for a new PhD in materials science and engineering. And that's huge. That is the first in that college. It is in collaboration with the College of Science, who has 2 doctoral programs, but it's those faculty pulling together and the staff pulling together to create a program that was really highly regarded and flew by with flying colors through our coordinating board review, which is exciting. That's what you want. We also have programs underway trying to round out that, particularly in the health area, but then others. And I have an asterisk here because we're not out of the clear. It's still considered under development until SAC-COC says you're good. But this one, of course, is much further along. Computer science is supposed to go to the coordinating board in January. And so that one is pretty close. Doctor of Physical Therapy, we have our visiting team coming in, the accrediting team coming in fall of 24. So all of these are in the hopper at different stages, but most importantly, we're continuing to push through to make sure that we have these opportunities to round out our offerings for students. So when they come to us for undergrad, they have numerous pathways for where they want to do in their grad. These are not insignificant investments by the university. And so this is a little bit of this is fiscal year 23. And so we are at nearly 26 million of investment to pull these off. We have to support the students, the equipment, the space, the faculty, the hiring, the staff, there's so many things that it takes to pull off a program. So it's not as easy as just writing a proposal and getting it approved. It is a true institutional commitment. And we would be really foolish to not check all of those boxes on the front end so that we make sure that when we launch, those students are going to be successful with what we've committed to giving them. And then lastly, we offered the higher ed administration this past year for the first time. And this was a cohort where students were able to participate tuition free, but we were able to align it. We had of course, the faculty doing the content, but then we aligned it with leadership talks on Fridays. And it worked out to be, I guess, probably about one a month or so. And we had different leaders from across the institution come and really have a candid conversation about their areas of responsibility and what does that look like. And hopefully those were informative and interesting to folks to just learn. Sometimes you go to work and you get so involved in the unit you work with, it's sometimes hard to see the forest for the trees. So the idea of this was to really bring some of that front and center for folks. We hope that was enjoyable. We look forward to the feedback. All of this, when you think about our students, it's one thing to attract them to come to us, but if they don't graduate and if they don't persist from year to year, this is not a one, I think Dr. Charlton might be on, she always says student success is everybody's business, and it is, it's everybody's business, and every single person plays a role in a student's experience in the classroom and outside the classroom. It can be from somebody running into you in the parking lot to somebody in a building to a service center. It doesn't matter. All of us play a role in making sure that that student experience is one that encourages a student to want to continue and to persist, and providing that framework in place. And with Jonica and Cynthia and the incredible student success team that's aligned with all of our advisors and our enrollment folks and our student affairs folks. I mean, and then all of the folks in the departments. It's truly everybody's business. And look at the numbers that we're achieving. We are fast approaching. We have the legacy numbers here, but then our charge was different. We're a different university. And we are really fast approaching and increasing. Everybody took a dip with the pandemic numbers, but we've rebounded and are fast approaching national averages. And that's incredible and impressive. And everybody should be patting themselves on the back. We are not done. There is so much more to do on behalf of our students, but just recognizing your role in that experience is really, really important and does make a difference. Oops, I went the wrong way. We also want to invest in all of you because we're asking you to invest in our students, and we want to also invest in all of you. Through April 23, since we started, we've been investing in reclassifications. We've launched an entire salary plan out of human resources, led by human resources, done the same thing on the faculty side, focused on promotions, merit. We did a minimum increase to $13, and we've done market adjustments. So there's lots of different compensation plans that happen. They're not all in one bucket. And that's why I wanted to list them out here. There's lots of different ways that we're trying to tackle so that we invest in the folks that have invested in us and invested in the university, and that we continue to do as much as we can, because we want to remain competitive and we want to make sure how appreciated you are. We also invested in our students, and that was a huge one. Anybody who during and after the pandemic, you drove down the street and everybody working at a fast food restaurant was making, $15 or, $18. And some of the, it was just so hard to get folks to come back to work. And so we wanted to make sure students kept us as a choice in their idea of where they'd like to work. Because we know that if we can keep them on campus, they're going to go to class, they're going to be on time, they're not going to have to worry about parking and all of those other sorts of things. And then they have all of you as mentors. And so that was an important increase, a big one. We know that there's room to go, that we want to continue to remain competitive, but it was a big leap for our students. We also have lots of desks around us as we're trying to expand to work on the commitments that we've made. Creating our pipeline of students coming from our high schools has always been and will continue to be a top priority. And you've seen some of those in the announcement. Harlingen is up and running. We have another coming online in Edinburgh and another coming online in McAllen. And this is big thanks to Dr. Charlton, Dr. Aldapeth, and the entire team, because there's dozens and dozens and dozens of folks that surround this work to make it happen, including our faculty who travel to these campuses. So just really, really excited to have influence and to have opportunity to be part of the academic journey, so that when they transfer to us, then we can continue that, and they will graduate with very little, if any, debt at all, and definitely on time, if they follow our advisors' advice, and the degree plans and programs of study. And we also are expanding in our health areas in McAllen. We have the academic medical campus. You've heard a lot about that, the cancer, the surgery and cancer infusion facility. But we also have a research building in Brownsville that is approaching completion. It's over there by the research building, health professions, by opposite of the Resaca of Maine. You've probably seen it, hopefully. And then across the street from Maine, we have the health professions building, which should be online this fall. So those are some of the things that are happening in our health and medical area. And then everybody's excited about, we're trying to work on housing. We're very close. We are working with System. We have a team working on that to go out for bid and next steps on expanding housing opportunities on both campuses. Edinburgh will be first because the planning is just further along. But the plan is to do on both. We're looking for all kinds of new activities because we know what happens in the classroom is critically important, but what happens outside the classroom is also critically important. And then for our faculty, staff, and students, our new pool at the Recreation Center, it's a lap pool, will be coming online. So just to kind of remind everybody of the timelines, when this graphic first came out, 24 seemed really far away. 24 is not far away anymore. So it is, we are practically there. And so our expanded spirit programs, we're going to have our first year of competition for swimming and diving, and our marching band is actually going to start a year early in an abbreviated fashion. The interest and excitement from the students has been unlike anything that any of us probably could have expected. And so we will be up and running in the 23-24 year for marching band, which is really exciting. And then of course, football still on top for 25. And I just want to end with some rankings. Many of these you have already seen, and so I won't read each and every one of them. But the point of sharing the rankings is not, we don't wake up to be ranked each and every day. None of us do. But what matters is when you wake up each and every day to set out and to achieve the goals that you've set for yourself and set for our community and set for each other. But then somebody externally says, wow, you're doing a really great job in these areas, then it's worthy of bragging because you're being recognized for the work that you set out to do anyway. And so we said we wanted to have low student debt. We said we wanted our students to have dramatic changes in economic mobility. And we said that we wanted to make sure that whether our students are Pell students or not, or whatever, their performance exceeds everybody else. And here are the numbers that show where we rank and what a good job all of you and all of us are doing in that space. Some of these other ones, again, net price, social mobility, best bang for your buck. Some of these, again, just so many different outlets. These are all Washington Monthly, which does a really nice job in their data collection and analysis. And so again, just being recognized for the things that we said that we value. And this one is new. I don't know that you've seen this, and it's a little bit different, and it's a really interesting, and I know it's like overwhelming and you're going, what in the world is it? So let me just sum it up really quickly. So when there is a prediction that is published that says a public national university will be predicted to perform based on their student profile. So we were predicted at 39%, but overperformed. And you'll notice people either over or underperform, the majority underperform of what the prediction. So the prediction holds fairly true for a large majority. We're the outlier, and we're the outlier because of who we are and because of what we say we're going to do. And we don't just say it, we do it. And I think that's really incredible. And our number of Pell students are 63% compared to all of these other institutions, and we far outperformed. So lots to be proud of. Again, pat yourself on the back, because this doesn't happen without each of you guiding our students every step of the way. And then our tuition and fees, again, back to the affordability, back to really not losing sight of the students we serve and what their reality is. And so we want to make sure that we stay competitive. We want to make sure we stay affordable. And so this slide, and I'll share this slide. I think I've already shared it with the Adida, so she can, anybody who wants any of these slides, I'm happy to share. But it's just really impressive, the number, the percentage receiving need-based aid and the average percentage discount for students. And when you look at the net academic cost, which is defined down here, it's derived by subtracting the total need-based aid from the total academic cost of all students and then dividing by the total. And so we are, I would say, outperforming dramatically in this category. And these are the things that we hold ourselves accountable to every time we think about a tuition increase. And so I just want to say thank you. None of this is possible without all of us. And so I just appreciate so much. And you know, Staff Senate is a commitment. All of you have full-time jobs and you have families and lives and all of these other things. So to say, take the time to be a part of this membership and to do your work on behalf of all the other staff is greatly appreciated as well. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Arnie.
You are so welcome.
Does anyone have, for a couple minutes, does anyone have any questions that you may have for Dr. Arnie? Let's see in the chat. Well, we have Ms. Wandy Cruz, she's super excited about all these things, so that's awesome. Great presentation. Well, we do have a question, Dr. Arnie. So it is from Ms. Luz Alanis. Will there be a collegiate campus in Brownsville? Would you happen to know that? Any chance? And you're mute, by the way.
Okay, you would think after all these years that everybody would know how to unmute, and I'm trying to be so respectful without background noise, and so I always mute right away, so I am so sorry. So that's a great, okay, so I'm gonna, let me see. Will there be a collegiate camp? Okay, so I pulled up the chat. So right now, we have the Brownsville Early College High School, and that's our collegiate campus in Brownsville. It's actually been there for many, many years and is an amazing partner. We've had a couple of luminaries from there, and they are a great partner, and that's VISD's kind of collegiate campus. Now, unlike some of the others that are in other parts of the city, it is literally on campus. And those students matriculate to us at a very high rate and are very successful coming to us, which is exciting because they get a different experience. It's actually in some respects it's a great experience because they are not only with their high schools for part of their educational experience, but they actually are on the college campus for part of their educational experience. So when you talk to some of these students, what they'll often say is, I know my way around. I love this place. I just want to continue. And we think that's in large part of the matriculation. So we're going to learn from that one with the other three to make sure that we take some of those strong points that have worked so well because we have a longer history in Brownsville. Does that answer your question, I hope? Luz?
Yes, she said yes.
Okay, and then what's the projected timeline for the pharmacy program? That's a really good question. We are in the process of developing the proposal, which means that's the campus process. There's numerous reviews and approvals that have to happen after that step. Some of the ones that have gone through those external approvals we're able to put a date to, like material sciences, like computer science, PT. But on this one, I don't have a date for you. I'm sorry. And mostly because it's still internally being reviewed. Once we get it there, it's kind of like a domino process. So once we get it to system and once we get it to the coordinating board, we'll be able to predict a date, not a date certain, but predict a date better. But right now I don't have one.
And we have one more question. No. I think you pretty much cleared up everything, Dr. Arnie.
Oh, well, terrific. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you so much for your time today.
Yes, and with that in mind, Dr. Arnie, I do want to share with colleagues, obviously, so again, on behalf of everyone else on Staff Senate, of course, with your assistance and your support, and along with Dr. Charlton here. So regardless of the role or what department you serve, or what division obviously you belong to, student success has been achieved through your contributions. And so again, Dr. Arnie, thank you for your presentation. And fellow colleagues, please join me in both wishing Dr. Arnie long and happy retirement and letting her know how deeply we are, appreciative of all the stuff that she has done for UTRGV, but also for our legacy institution, the University of Texas, Brownsville. So you'll probably see it in the chat, Dr. Arnie, so.
Aw, well, thank you. And I won't, just to kind of give everybody an update. So as you know, I was in the office of the president and then I took on the provost role, kind of kept both. Dr. Zayas has stepped in the provost role. I will still remain working with Dr. Bailey on a variety of projects for a period of time. So I'm here and available for to continue this great work. This university is my life's pride work. But I also want to say a big welcome to Dr. Zayas. He's been an amazing colleague and we're really excited to have him on board. And so the provost side of the house and the colleges are in great shape. So thank you.
Yes. And so I know Dr. Arnie has been like a great advisor to Staff Senate. So we have, something coming up for you, Dr. Arnie. Don't worry, I know you don't like surprises. So we'll have something very special gift for you. Which we'll give to you later, of course, because we're in Zoom, but
Yeah.
thank you so much for everything.
Thank you.
You can already see all the chats blowing up.
Y'all,
So-
thank you so much. I'm gonna cry. I appreciate it so much. And I appreciate all of you. So thank you.
Yes, but thank you so much. And we hope that you have a good rest of your day and happy weekend, happy Friday. So yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I will let you go on to your business and thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Oops, okay. So I've stopped sharing. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize I was still sharing.
No worries, you're good.
Okay.
It's still a technology thing, so we're trying to figure it out. So
Thank you.
but thank you so much. All right, moving on, we have our committee reports, and so we'll begin with our communications committee. Our chair for this committee is Ms. Melanie Garza, and our co-chair is Rolando Segovia.
Good morning, everyone. Hope you all have been having a great day. I know I'm following Dr. Arnie, so I hope you still benefit from this information. But I'm so excited to see you all again. It's nice to be gathered all together. As Yadira mentioned, I'm the committee chair for the communication committee with Staff Senate. We do have a few updates for you all. I know we haven't updated y'all in a minute. So there has been work happening behind the scenes for the Staff Senate website. We want to ensure that for the upcoming year, there's updated information there, one location where you can find meeting minutes and things happening with the institution. So I'll be resharing the link here. It's still a work in progress, but we're looking forward to the new team with Staff Senate so that we can tackle this project and keep working on it and getting it to that A1 status. And then we also want to continue and congratulating all of our staff. Within the 2022-2023 year, we have a lot of graduates. We were trying to showcase as many as we could through social media because this is amazing work that you all do aside from your full-time job or part-time job here at the institution. So if we could all just give a second and a round of applause to anybody who has graduated this year. If you know anyone,
clap.
Yes. And if you know anyone, feel free to shout them out in the chat because again, continuing to work hard it shows in our work. So we're very happy for that. And then the last thing is we did have a big contest this past spring for homecoming. So our amazing teams that participated for the decorating contest finally received their trophy that hopefully are being displayed in their offices. So one last applause for the biology department and the FYE and Career Center team in Brownsville who got a lot of votes on social media and everything. So we're very excited for y'all's interaction through those channels to help support staff on campus. And I'll roll it over to co-chair Rolando for a review of this year's work.
Hi, everybody. My name is Rolando Segovia. I'm just also happy to announce that we started a new campaign with our social media. It's called Find Your Orange. So you probably saw on our social media the hashtag Find Your Orange. That's our way of promoting school spirit. Especially, we should take great pride in working with the university. So whenever you post an activity that you are attending at the university, or if you bought new swag for the university, you can always use hashtag Find Your Orange. We'll continue to use this campaign through the next academic year. We got good response in our social media. So please follow us on social media and our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Would greatly appreciate it. And also share your posts on our social medias. And don't forget to use the hashtag #FindYourOrange.
Awesome. And we'll reshare in a little bit our channels. That way, if you're new or haven't been able to, or maybe you're new to Instagram, right? You can go ahead and give us a follow for all new updates. This is the last Staff Senate meeting for the academic year. I did want to thank everybody that's part of the committee, that's part of Staff Senate, and obviously the staff that has, engaged with us and showcased our campus partners. So I do want to continue emphasizing, UTRGV spirit and the pride that we have for our institution. So we really hope that the Find Your Orange campaign continues on. And then Rolando, if you have any closing remarks.
Please make sure that you do follow us on our social media. It was amazing how the interaction we received from all our staff members, like from the Halloween contest, from the homecoming activities. We got really good responses, and I hope this coming year that we'll continue to get even more responses of the campaigns that we promote, or competitions that we promote within the campus, because it just builds up a good school spirit, and it takes a little time away from your 8 to 5 duties, and to promote a little bit of happiness with your school spirit and give you a little something to do. So please make sure that you follow us, and make sure that you find out the new activities that are going to come up this coming year.
And last but not least, I'd like to individually thank every committee member. So here are some photos. I know it's very short, but personally thanking. Oh my gosh. Can you see it? There you go. Can you see it in the background?
It's still showing out started screen sharing. So it's probably still loading. I think she froze.
Okay.
My apologies, my Zoom quit unexpectedly. Okay, so this is just like a little thank you. And so personally wanting to thank Cristina Rodriguez, who is part of the communication committee. She joined us a little later in the year, but was really helpful with some of the campaigns we were having. Mr. Javier Salinas as well, very thankful for all the work that you put in. Juan Soto, Santos, my bad. Juan Santos, who helps us a lot. Karina Flores, which you can see some of our members here in the photos, in case you need to put a name to the face. Juan, Javier, Cristina, Karina as well, Tammy Munoz, and then of course, co-chair Rolando Segovia. And Yadira, your help has been very much appreciated throughout this whole year. So, those things we never forget, and we are very happy and looking forward to the next year. So thank you all.
Thank you, Melanie. Thank you, Rolando.
Thank you.
All right, for our next committee, we have the Elections and Constitution Committee. And for the chair, we have Ms. Monica Granado and co-chair Irene Cárdenas.
Thank you.
Good morning. The Elections and Constitutions Committee has been super productive this year. We've been making sure we got caught up on all the elections and the Staff Senate constitutional amendments that were pending from previous years. I want to thank the committee and the Staff Senate leadership for all the hard work and guidance over the course of the year. With the FY24 election wrapping up this week, we're set to start the year with a clean slate and a full Staff Senate. And on that note, if you haven't cast your vote yet, please take a moment to click the link in the email that went out on Monday and cast your vote for the new staff senator who will represent your division. And that's all.
Thank you, Monica. Our next committee is going to be the feedback committee, and our chair for that is Ms. Jasmine Zuniga, co-chair Ms. Marissa Campirano. I think you're, Jasmine, we can't hear you. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, perfect. Sorry. Hello, everyone. My name is Jasmine Zuniga, and I'm the chair for the feedback committee. Although I don't have any updates, I do have kind of an overview of some of the inquiries that we have throughout the year for year 2021, 2022. We don't have a lot for 2023, but that doesn't mean there isn't time. Although we are ending this year with this meeting, the next one coming in will be the one to be providing that information to you all. So I'll go ahead and submit the link for you guys so that way you guys can sorry, still the morning, waking up. So I will provide the link for you, and also we do have a QR code. That way it's easier, on the go. You all can go ahead and use that QR code to kind of input any information. We do want to hear from you. Any concerns, interests, things that you like us to explore. We want to hear all that from you guys. So hopefully we'll get to see more forms coming in for this year. This being my first year, it was crazy, it was overwhelming, but the community members that I do want to acknowledge for helping us through all these submissions, I do want to thank, Marisa, which is our co-chair, Campirano, Karen Dorado, who kind of provided us the log that we had that we would update every submission, and those that when we did have updates, was able to provide that log for you guys. Cordelia Raza, she was a huge help also in setting up the submission form. And so again, I'll go ahead and set that on the link on the chat. Nicole English, Karina Herrera, Alicia Puentes, Melba Cantu, and Nolan Yasos. Thank you all so much for helping through all this. Like I said, this was my first year, so it does get pretty nerve-wracking. But thank you all so much, and I'll provide all that for you guys in the link.
Thank you, Jasmine. And last but not least, we have our staff success committee. Chair for that is Ms. Maribel Mata, co-chair Veronica Villarreal, and we'll have Veronica go ahead and present on behalf of the committee.
Good morning, everyone. Today, I'm excited to bring some exciting updates to the Staff Success Committee. As you know, our committee has been diligently working to enhance the overall well-being and growth of our esteemed staff members here at UTRGV. Your continuous support and dedication to this cause has been invaluable, and we're grateful for the opportunity to serve you all. Our committee is eagerly gearing up for the upcoming Staff Senate Retreat, a pivotal event that will play a crucial role in shaping our plans for the year ahead. Currently, our committee is in the process of finalizing the agenda for the retreat, and we're working hard to ensure that it is an enriching and enjoyable experience for everyone involved. One of the highlights of this retreat will be onboarding our newest senators who will be joining the Staff Senate for the upcoming year. We want to extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to these intelligent individuals who will undoubtedly bring new, fresh perspectives and their unique talents to their respective divisions. With their addition to the Senate, we are confident that our ability to represent the interests and concerns of UTRGV staff will be further strengthened. As Dr. Arne stated, let us remember that every staff member plays an essential role in the university's success. Your dedication and commitment to excellence are the driving forces behind our achievements. Thank you.
Hi, thank you, Veronica. Up next, we'll have our public comments and questions. Does anyone have any public comments or questions in regards to today's meeting or announcements in general, committee, university?
I can share.
Okay, Carrie, go ahead.
Yes, so I wanted to bring to everybody's attention that Welcome Week is coming up in about a month. As you may know, Welcome Week is a welcome back event for students and university community, and it starts the first week of each fall and spring semester. And Welcome Week is an opportunity to meet and connect with fellow vaqueros, participate in campus traditions, and get excited about the new academic semester. This fall semester, Welcome Week will be a 2-week long celebration full of different events that will start on Monday, August 28th, and will go through Friday, September 8th. As part of Welcome Week, there will be multiple popular events, including we will have UTRGV Day on Wednesday, August 30th. So mark the date, save it on your calendar, join us for a free commemorative shirt and cupcake while supplies last. Another popular event is the Stomp. That one is scheduled for Tuesday, August 29th and August 31st. And so that is an expo for student organizations, giveaways, and fun activities. There are other events like Picnic with the President, table like info depots and other opportunities. And so we're currently in the process of finalizing the webpage for Welcome Week. We're hoping to have that webpage ready in the next week or two. And so that webpage is www.utrgv.edu/welcome week. I'll drop it into the chat so that you can save that webpage for now. Please be on the lookout for updates on that website as well as on social media. And we'll also be sending out email updates about Welcome Week. And then in general, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to Edna Zambrano or myself. And then that way we can go ahead and answer your questions about Welcome Week. And that is it. Thank you for your time. Happy Friday.
Thank you, Karen. Does anyone have any more comments, announcements, or even share in the chat any events that are coming up? Go ahead, Rolanda.
Hello, everyone again. I just want to remind all our staff and faculty members that annual enrollment ends on this coming Monday on the 31st. So just a friendly reminder, if you want to update or change your benefits, you have till the 31st to do so. If you have any questions, you can always reach HR and they'll connect you to a benefit representative and they'll be happy to assist you with any questions you may have.
Thank you for that, Rolando.
Thank
so
you.
mark your calendars if you haven't done it. All right, anyone else?
Hi, this is Eliza Gomez with Office of Emergency Management. I just wanted to let people know to be on the lookout and save the date for September 18th through the 22nd is going to be the first ever Ready UTRGV week. And there's going to be events in Edinburgh on Monday and Brownsville on Friday from 10 a.m. to noon. And so more information will be coming, so be on the lookout for that.
Can you repeat the dates again, Ms. Eliza?
It's the week of September 18th through the 22nd. So it's 2 weeks after Welcome Week.
Right.
And a lot more information is going to be coming. That's in the planning stages right now.
Thank you for sharing that, Eliza. Anyone else?
I actually wanted to do a shout out. This summer has been full of like orientation for new students for this upcoming year. So I wanted to throw a shout out to like student success, strategic enrollment, everybody who's involved in this process to onboarding our students. What Dr. Arnie really resonated with me. So like, it's a lot of work that's being put in. So just thank you to everybody and all your hard work.
Thank you for that, Melanie. Anyone else? Okay, well, just to recap, like Monica said in elections, we do have the elections going on. So today's the last day. Make sure that once you click on that link, you have 24 hours to submit. Of course, you only have until 5 o'clock today to go and submit your vote. But yes, we do appreciate your voice and having our new membership coming on board. Again, this is our last rodeo together with the colleagues that you just heard from right now. And so we'll be preparing those of you that have already been elected for the FY23 elections. We're going to have a retreat within the next couple of weeks, but also the 24, those that are elected in the FY24. And so if anyone doesn't have any comments or questions, I do like to thank all of you all for your support towards Staff Senate. On behalf of this membership, we are honored to have served you this academic year. And also just hearing from you all and just be able to collaborate with each and one of you all. I know that we're busy, right, in our 8 to 5, maybe more than past 5 o'clock. But I think your support towards Staff Senate has been very meaningful to our team. It's not just only me, it's actually everyone else. We all have different, roles that we are playing. And so I think you all as supporting us, whether it's like, hey, showing that school spirit or even sharing that maybe a suggestion or maybe a concern, whatever the case is. I know that you all are part of the student success is basically because of staff success. Of course, we can't forget about the faculty success component, right? But, you all have demonstrated, the work that you all are in and the positions you're in that, we wouldn't be here where we are today because of each and one of you all. And so Staff Senate, again, I will be transitioning out. This is actually my last meeting. I will be serving as immediate past president. So you'll be hearing soon of our new president, new leadership moving within the next few weeks. And so I look forward to supporting them, moving forward. Just an FYI, I will be part of Staff Senate and supporting that area, but I will be taking on another role, which you'll be hearing a little bit more often as we move forward in the academic year. So I'm part of the UT System Employee Advisory Council. So those of you that are not fully aware of that, that's basically Staff Senate at a UT system level. And so there are the UT schools, and so there is a representation and on behalf of those universities. And so along with that, we have Peter James and Himika, who's also part of that membership. And also, as an alternate right now, right, we do have our staff senator, Senator Nicole English, who will also be an assistant to us on that area. And so, again, you'll be hearing a lot more of this as we move on forward. But y'all take care, please. And then we do have one comment, heads up from Pablo Aguilar, FY24 parking permits will be available August 1st. So don't forget about those parking. Also, make sure those of you that are on the Edinburgh campus, you all probably have seen the poles, yellow poles probably been already implemented on the parking lots, some part of the areas. I know there's already some part of the campus, just make sure that's new from parking. Pablo Aguilar, not to pull you out of this, but do you happen to have any more information in regards to those poles? Or if there's any other information regarding to those parking areas or spaces, by any chance?
Sure. That side of over by 5th Street, those are parking lots E16 and E19. We're installing those parking guidance systems. So we should have them ready by the beginning of fall, and that's just helpful for students and for staff as well to see about parking lots or asking where we can still go in. It'll just make things easier. So we should have.
We can barely hear you, Pablo. It's fading out. Not sure can you hear us?
I can hear you, but I'm in commute. Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you clearly.
Okay,
so
you
had to raise your voice there for a moment.
Yeah, they're part of our parking guidance systems. So we should have those up by the beginning of fall. So that's just a helpful resource for us and students just to know if parking lots are full. So those are going up in lot E16 over by the field house and E19 over by the tennis court. So they should be ready by this fall. That's our goal.
Yeah, I heard that. That's their goal. And so obviously a committee was part of this. We did have one of our staff senators at the moment, Ricardo Lopez, who served in that committee, who did take the opportunity to get some of that feedback, and then another colleagues as well. Sorry, I missed your names, but you all have been great part to this feedback for this parking area. And then we do have a comment from Peter James. He says, I have a comment, so it's your turn, PJ.
I have a comment. I just want to say thank you to this year's Staff Senate. You all have done a great job. It has been easy. It was really a kind of a transition year. So I definitely just want to applaud you all and the executive board, the different chairs, the leadership. Yadira, you've done a phenomenal job as chair of the Staff Senate. It's not easy to chair the Staff Senate. It's really not. especially with, the other roles that you have on campus. And so thank you so much for doing that. I want to welcome you into the past presidency. And I'm really excited about what this is going to look like moving forward. It's great to just see everyone really working hard to advocate for the well-being and the enhancement of staff on campus, of course, and with our students and faculty as well in mind. So thank you for all the work that you've been doing, and we look forward to continued success this upcoming year.
Thank you, PJ. All right. So this was a short meeting, but we want to make sure that, you enjoy the rest of your Friday. If you don't have any other comments, questions, or any concerns, maybe hold your peace, right? The way when, the marriage happened. If not, we're good to go. But other than that, I'll pass it down to our parliamentarian. If you had any questions, Ms. Kelly. I think she should be. I know she's been having technical issues. If not, I'll go ahead and open up the floor for a motion. If there aren't any further public comments or questions, we'll now move on to make a motion to adjourn. May I have a staff senator to make that motion?
I move to adjourn the Staff Senate General Meeting for the month of February.
No, July.
Oh, July, sorry.
I second that.
All right, Javier seconds that. Is there a second? Yes, Javier. And then is there any debate or discussion? Debate or discussion? Debate or discussion? All those in favor, please state aye in the Zoom chat, which is the staff senators. All opposed? Can someone just say opposed because they don't want to end this meeting? Just kidding. Any abstentions? All right, Kelly, you have the last word on this one. I'm not sure if your Zoom is still working right now.
I think it's working. Hopefully it's working. My background's not working, but with that, for the last time, I'll call this meeting adjourned at 9:57 a.m. Y'all have a good Friday and a good weekend, everybody.
All right, thank you all.
Thank you. Stay safe.
Y'all take care. Happy Friday.
You too.
Y'all take care. Happy Friday.